to JB Sports. It is Wrestling Wednesday, so it's all about wrestling. So missed last week. I apologize. First week back at college, stuff going on. So we'll go we'll go straight into things. Um, First thing I want to talk about, JD McDonough. Unfortunately, did get a injury. He has some broken ribs and a punctured lung after he did that insane springboard moonsault to the outside. So prayers up to him. Hopefully he recovers quickly and everything recovers well. So hopefully he is okay. But we'll go straight into the Raw 2 nights ago. So Seth Rollins kicks it off, has a heartfelt promo talking about how he's wants to be champ again, everything. He's gonna win Royal Rumble. Then Gunther comes out, basically just tells Seth, hey, you're not the guy anymore. You're not the winning person. You haven't won. You haven't won stuff. Just talking straight up trash to Seth, which totally disrespectful. And it can't get any worse for Seth, you think, because Gunther's talking trash. He's being annoying, and then you hear Logan Paul's music. Logan Paul comes out, and Logan Paul actually getting some nuclear heat, which is insane. I did not expect him to get that much heat as much as he did, and he achieved it. Started trying to yell through it a little bit, so kind of playing into that heel role well. He's talking trash, saying how he could beat both of them, says he can beat anyone. So he's doing well in the heel role. Most people don't like him in real life, so he makes a pretty natural heel. So it works out really well for him to just be a natural heel. Um, Next part, Sami Zayn and CM Punk have a little interaction where CM Punk's getting interviewed after the whole uh, promo segment between Seth, Gunther, and Logan, and he comes in and he's talking to Kathy about the Royal Rumble, and then Sammy comes in, he's like, "Hey, I heard what you said last week," and CM Punk's like, "Yeah, that's Sami Zayn," and I say it like basically saying, Sami Zayn isn't on the level of CM Punk," and he said, you know, yeah, we're not on the same level. You know why? Because Sami Zayn is a main eventer at WrestleMania, and CM Punk's not, and it's like, dang, Sam, you really had to go there. You had to go that route because if anyone knows, one of Punk's biggest things of his career is he's never been the main event at WrestleMania. He has never been the main event at WrestleMania, and that's where Sammy was going. People were going at Punk tonight, but we'll continue. World Tag Team Championship: the War Raiders versus the Judgment Day. This is the match JD got hurt. Pretty good match actually, very good match overall. Some crazy spots. That JD spot, if he didn't get hurt, would have been even crazy. But since he got hurt, it's kind of hard. But if you were on Instagram, Austin Theory was live during it. Austin Theory was hilarious. That one part where he said, I only got to be only have to have one chain to prove I'm the best person in this arena or something like that. When two chains, the next one was funny. But continuing on, JD, JD and Dom lost, of course, because they're not going to have them win. Next one, Rey Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. Kofi lost last week, and his family turned on him a while ago. This week, you go in, you're like, ooh, maybe Xavier Woods can win. He's a former King of the Ring winner. Uh, Same luck, went in, his family was there. He's like, oh, maybe the family will root for me. Maybe the family will be there for me. Guess what? Nah. Uh, his family was uh, turned on him with little Yachty in the back with them because he was winning the match. Basically, he was kind of packing up Ray. And then you just see him standing there and he walks up to his family, right? And he's like, hey, you with me? And then they turn on him. They have the New Day Suck shirts. And then you have Little Yachty just sitting there with it. So that was pretty fun. And then Ray put on a New Day Sucks shirt. But let's hope that they can start picking up wins soon. Next one, Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Liv Morgan Raquel. Nice to see Liv not have the title. Sorry, Liv fans, I'm not the biggest fan of her as champ, but that's just my personal preference. Overall, it was a fine match. It wasn't too insane. I mean, there were some good spots. It had a pretty good finish, but it wasn't crazy. Next, the 10 minutes of Jey Uso coming out to say that he was just going to be in the Royal Rumble. Um, Pretty hype. I mean, his entrance was hype even after losing to Gunther. So it was pretty hype overall. I don't know if they should have played it for that long, But overall, it was fine. Nothing to be mad about. It was a good little segment with another rapper Quavo. Um, Next, uh, Paul Heyman reveals WWE 2K25 cover. This was pretty standard. Like, yeah, Roman Reigns, the Bloodline Edition, pretty cool. Then Drew McIntyre comes out, and Drew kind of makes a point where he said he's kind of the whole reason the Bloodline's whole thing because he threw Roman over. He claymored Roman over the top rope in the Royal Rumble, then beat the Beast. Then he he said how him throwing him over, him winning, and then him just being like how he was. Well, okay, so he said he made Brock in his worst moment. So Brock let go of Paul, threw him out to sea, and he metaphorically swam back. And Roman was at his lowest point. So he went in his mind and changed Roman to the bad guy he is today. So he's saying he is the whole reason for the bloodline and that he was apologizing. And then he said something about go tell your boy that I'm coming for him. I'm singling him out at the Royal Rumble. And everyone's like, oh, okay, he's going after Roman. Paul, well, he did say like you're in my space, like get out. But so Paul's like, all right, I'll give it to Chavo Chief, and he starts to walk away, and then Drew McIntyre stops him, pulls him back, and says, I wasn't talking about Roman Reigns. I was talking about CM Punk. So no love lost. I just know there's gonna be a crash out by Drew McIntyre because CM Punk's gonna throw him out the Rumble. That's just what's gonna happen. He's gonna have a crash out and he's gonna screw someone over. But yeah. Good segment. I liked it. I really liked Drew McIntyre kind of proving, adding a twist to the Bloodline story because a lot of times you think, oh, Seth Rollins for turning Roman Reigns who he is today, but you can kind of see this Drew McIntyre spin on and be like, that's also another way to think about it. It adds more to Drew McIntyre's story against the Bloodline, which makes it a little more credible, especially after like the title losses. Sammy versus Drew. What do you expect? Another Drew McIntyre win. He cheated for it, but who cares? And we all love Drew and Sammy. Stop taking matches with him, man. I think you're something like 11-0 against him all time, so you just gotta chill. He goes to attack Sammy after, and then Cody Rhodes comes running out like he does and goes to help Sammy. Gets haluva kick to the face for his troubles, and just goes for a promo and starts laying everything on the table, what he's thinking about the Royal Rumble and everything. And then you hear CM Punk's music hit, and you're like, oh my. And CM Punk comes out, and he's like, as a friend, like, Cody, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Or are you fine? And Cody's like, yeah, I'm fine. What are you talking about? And he's like, because CM Punk's like, oh, you're the hardest worker. It's wearing you down, and everything's gonna happen. And the worst thing is the best thing for you is that you're gonna lose the title. And Cody's like, all right, what's the worst part of it? And he says, that man's gonna be me. Cody talks about how like, oh, he's been working everything, how the best part of this promo segment was absolutely amazing. And it really sets up for a big money match at Mania between the two. And maybe CM Punk's main event if he wins Rumble. But what he said was how back then when they were both getting into the company, CM Punk was a guy, got all the girls, he got the championship coming straight out of OVW, something like that, and or ROH, whatever. I think it was ROH, he said, but wherever he came from, sounded wrong. Wherever CM Punk just came from, and he said how we were all chasing you, we were chasing what you were being, and they wanted to find it. Even when he left the company and people were chanting for CM Punk's name, he wanted to be that. And he said, we were all chasing for that. But that's different now. He said, I'm the top guy. I do this. I work every show. I'm everything. So he's like, I'm not chasing you anymore. Sorry, my phone. I'm not chasing you anymore. You're chasing me. So he's setting a bar up for CM Punk saying, listen, bud, you can talk all this trash. You can say everything you want about you're taking my title, but I'm the guy now. I'm the main guy. You're not the main guy. And he said, yeah, he's going to prove that the best in the world isn't the best in the world anymore. So amazing promo between the two. They end up with a face off, and that ends Raw. Really good. I think after Carmelo might have attacked him, I think that was Raw, and Carmelo got packed up because it's Carmelo. He's missing a lot recently, but yeah, Carmelo got absolutely packed. But amazing Raw. The Raws have been amazing recently. You also had what was it? I think Braun Breaker and Penta have a little face off, which is nice because Penta. And his entrance, adding that pyro in the back, the one that does like the shuriken or whatever in the background, looks so cool. His entrance is amazing. He's been wrestling amazing. His debut was amazing. Everything about Penta has been amazing so far. So hopefully that happens. But yeah, CM Punk versus Cody was an amazing segment. And stemming from the segment, you're thinking, okay, CM Punk has basically stated that when he wins, he's going for this. There's not going to be that segment afterwards like, ooh, do I go for you? Do I go for you? And then one of them attacks me, goes after that. No, CM Punk is literally saying, I'm winning this Rumble and I'm going after you. And there's been a few things that have hinted at Punk winning the Rumble. So I will come out with my prediction video, and it's going to be really hard predictions actually because Royal Rumble are ones I can get wrong. I don't know if I'm gonna give myself like 2 picks for it or 3 picks, but we'll figure it out. But I will have a prediction video out for the Royal Rumble. But yeah, Punk's really laying into him, and then so I'm thinking that Punk is the number one eye to watch in the Rumble right now. There's so many people. There's so many good people and great faces in the Rumble, men's and women's side. Men's, you already have John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Penta. You have a buttload of people, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. You just have so many, Sami Zayn, like so many people that can actually win and have a good storyline going into it. And then it's just somebody to pick from. John Cena. I think John Cena will win the Elimination Chamber instead. I don't think he'll win Rumble. I think he hasn't. I mean, it'd be fine, I guess, but I think I'd rather see him win the Elimination Chamber over the Rumble. So off of that. So Raw, really good show. Raw has been cooking recently. The matches have been amazing. The promos have been amazing. Everything's been amazing. Last week was SmackDown. Motor City Machine Guns defeated Pretty Deadly. Pretty good comeback win for Motor City Machine Guns. They did have to play a little slower just because of Pretty Deadly, but they're such a good tag team. It's okay. They still made it good. B-Fab and Michin versus Chelsea and Piper. B-Fab and Michin won. I mean, it's just setting up for one of them to have a match with Chelsea Green again for the Women's United States Championship, and it was an alright match, but really it's just setting that up. And Chelsea should hold this title for a long time. She's deserved this. Jax, LeRae, and Morgan versus Ripley, Naomi, and Belair. Um, it was alright. I really don't care for this kind of storyline right now with the three constantly kind of going at each other. I think Liv needs to stop being in segments with Rhea. I think they really do need to stop that kind of storyline from happening. Charlotte Flair will be back in the Rumble, so hopefully she can start to spice stuff up. But yeah, it's just this Jax, LeRae, Belair, and Naomi, like all of this stuff is getting kind of boring. So we need to mix it up a bit. Apollo Crews versus Johnny Gargano. Crews defeats Gargano. Mm, it's I mean, you want the tag team champs winning, but singles matches for them losing isn't the worst because they're tag team champions. But Johnny Gargano is really good. I know it's just kind of storyline, the good guys gonna win sometimes, but I'd really just prefer Gargano just continues to win. Tama Tonga versus LA Knight. Knight wins, of course. Not a bad match, but it is not the greatest thing, I guess. But still, it's totally a fine match. Tama Tonga and Jacob have been so good recently, especially the promo at Saturday Night Main Event, which I'll get to, but I'll finish SmackDown first. Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes. Priest wins. Carmelo Hayes is missing. Uh, Carmelo Hayes never misses that quota. The quota he should be hitting, he's not hitting. So we gotta either put him back down in NXT or get him some good storylines going because I don't like him as just this fall man. Kevin Owens versus Jimmy Uso. Owens defeats Uso, but it was a pretty good match. I really like that Jimmy's getting some limelight right now. He's getting some spotlight because he can actually be really, really good. So just like his brother, just like Jay. So they are actually very good single wrestlers by themselves. I'm really happy that they've finally given both of them a chance to really be singles wrestlers. You've seen what Jay can do with the time. You can see now what Jimmy can do. Like before Jimmy was written off for that injury, he was really, really good. When he had that little thing with John Cena, when he first split off. Like everything's been really good. So hopefully that can continue. Saturday night main event. Next show we'll talk about Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Honestly, really fun match. Of course, Ripley won, but really fun match. I think people try to dog on Nia a little bit too much. I used to kind of be like that, but I gave her another chance once she came back. I was like, Triple H, why are you hiring her? But she has been so much better. So happy for her that she's been able to. One, she won a championship, which she was pretty good in it. I mean, I was not expecting her to be that good, and she was really good. So props out to her. She's been great. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus, always a banger between these two. Of course, Braun retained, which right now the one thing that's kind of like I'm questioning about it is now that you have Penta and you're putting him into this equation with Braun, what's next for Sheamus? Because I really want Sheamus to get this last championship. I would love for that storyline to go to Mania. Maybe that's where he finally wins it, but I don't want Penta taking losses to Braun. Not that Braun's a bad person to lose to, but I don't want him to just take competitive straight losses 2, 3 in a row. So it's in a little weak spot, but the match was really, really good, and Sheamus got screwed, as people said. Jacob versus Braun. Jacob is an animal. His promo before it was amazing. Tama Tonga starting off, and then Jacob. He's just really good. Like Jacob Fatu is really, really good. His promos are amazing. Everybody knows his in ring. Like they've given him some time to like talk, do some in ring stuff, and he's been wow. I don't know how to explain that a man of that like size and stature can do the stuff Jacob Fatu can do in the ring. And then not only, like I said, can he do in the ring, but the promo was amazing. It was great. Braun Strowman did win by DQ, but um, Fatu cleaned house. He was crazy after. Gunther versus Jey Uso, pretty good match. Gunther was gonna win. I don't really think many people thought Jey would win. I mean, I would have been okay with it, but I wouldn't expect him to win that match against Gunther. A lot of people were kind of talking trash against the spear, but it wasn't a bad spear. I think people just like to overly hate Jey sometimes, just because any second they can get to hate on Jey, they do. I don't get why everybody hates on Jey, but hey, he came back the next night, and everybody loved him again. So hate all you want, but that spear wasn't terrible. There are plenty of worse spear attempts and plenty of worse botches in WWE and AEW. There's botches both spots. So not gonna just dog on AEW, and I'm gonna say WWE has some bad botches too. So it's there's many things that have been worse than that Jey Uso spear, and it really wasn't too bad. It actually kind of looked like it would hurt more than most things. So that's kind of how I'm going into that Saturday Night Main Event. Pretty good. I think the first one was way better, just because the first one, the aura around it, some of the matches, but this one, I I think it maybe under delivered. I think some of the stuff could have been a little better, but overall, still a very good match card. I like some of the matches, and one match surprised me, which was the Nia one Rhea, but they have chemistry together, so it was pretty good. But overall, other than that, there's just some things to go into. New Day. Um, I love their heel work. They have been amazing at heel. I don't like the losing. I mean, I know they're going to start winning eventually. They're the kind of heel group that loses at first until they get really the heel stuff down, and they're going to beat Ray. But hopefully soon that they can start picking up some wins. One big thing I think, which I don't know if any other people really like care about too much, but Zelina Vega going to SmackDown is honestly huge because Andrade said he was picking someone up to get him to the next level. Reunite Zelina Vega and Andrade to give Andrade that voice he kind of needs. Picture perfect. That's what Andrade needs. Andrade is so good on the ring, but he doesn't get the respect he deserves because he's not he can't talk as well as other people. I know because the language barrier. So once he gets Selena, it's going to be back to the old Andrade, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so happy for Andrade that he's hopefully, if it happens, that he's going to get back because I want Andrade to get more respect than he does. A lot of people don't give Andrade the cheer he should be getting, and it's just sad to see because I absolutely adore Andrade and what he can do in ring. So great for him. And like he didn't get a chance last time in WWE because like his biggest moment, the U.S. title match at WrestleMania, it was in front of no one because COVID. So man really hasn't been able to get his moment, and hopefully he can get his moment soon because he deserves it. Barely got used in AEW well, and he needs to start getting used well in WWE leagues. So with Delina leaving LWO, I hope LWO just becomes nothing altogether. You can send the tag team to NXT, or you can keep them here just to be not really jobbers, but make some good matches, because they're not bad. I mean, they make some crazy moments, but when you're thinking the LWO, you really would have thought just like Carlito, um, Ray, and Zelina. I didn't think about the tag team too much. I mean, I know they had some crazy moments with like the springboard stuff where they go insanely high into the air bar, which they are good wrestlers. I'm not going to discount them, but you just don't think about them too much. So cut them loose, make Ray have some good matches, maybe with Penta, maybe with some of the younger guys, make them look better, and eventually get another match against Dom one-on-one where Dom wins cleanly, please. Uh, because that would be amazing. Judgment Day, those guys need a, those guys need a they need to separate. I'm pretty much tapped out with the Judgment Day. Finn's having problems with them all, but Finn's not really here right now after losing to Damien. JD, like I said, hurt. Hopefully he heals up well. Carlito, he's just there. I mean, he's just there really for segments and to interfere with matches, which he does well with them. And the apple spit's cool, but give him something to do other than just spit apples and be a little henchman for everyone. Liv and Dom, I mean, she's using him right now. That's kind of the storyline, which he used her before to get it back at Rhea. But the storyline right now is definitely Dom getting used by Liv. So hopefully Dom can kind of break apart soon. Maybe get another Huz out there and start to kind of get his own singles pass because Dom he's starting to get some cheers, man. I've heard a few cheers. Dom is way better than anyone really thought he was gonna be. Because I remember when he first came out, a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's not really that good. Like he won't ever be really that guy that good." And this Judgment Day, while it has helped X tremendously, it made him into the wrestler he is today. I think he would be great by himself and just keep him as that heel, that like annoying heel, but maybe let him start to get a few wins in there somewhere because eventually I could definitely see him holding an IC title or US title. That's definitely something Dom can do. World Heavyweight Championship, no. I unless something crazy happens to Dom and everybody gets behind him, I don't see that happening. Dom is a great wrestler. He's very charismatic. He brings the nuclear heat, but mid card titles is kind of his alleyway. He's going to have a lot of mid card titles, I think, in his career, which is totally fine. Dom can be a king at mid cards for all I care. He's not a mid carder when he has a mid card. So hopefully he can split away from them and get kind of his own light. Same with Finn. I would really hope that Finn can get a World Heavyweight Championship. My friend has slowly been trying to make me understand that it might not happen. The window's closing, but I'll never stop believing in Finn. I can't stop believing in Finn. Don't stop believing is my motto with Finn Balor because the chance is always there. Will it happen? Probably not, but I'll never stop believing in my boy Finn. Hopefully he comes back as the Demon Finn Balor again and starts to do a little bit of that because the last time he did something with that was I believe WrestleMania match against Edge where he had the staples in his head, which could have been a way. It was still a pretty good match, but it could have been way better if he didn't get hurt. So hopefully he can get some time as the Demon when he comes back and at least a mid card, man. Give me something. You just can't do this to Finn. Finn is so good. He's so talented. Imagine if he didn't hurt his shoulder. Imagine if he didn't get hurt, man. WWE what ifs are crazy. The amount of what ifs in history that could substantially change history is it's just amazing to think of. That's why it's great being a wrestling fan. That's why it's great being a sports fan because really anything can happen in sports, and I feel like people take it for granted what what ifs mean to history and thinking about sports and creativity. So we'll keep that there. Penta, like I said, he's been doing absolutely wonderful. I think that he can definitely be a mid card title holder, and then maybe be heavyweight champ. He's got the aura for it. He can speak pretty. He's not bad at speaking English. I don't know if I said like that. He can speak some pretty good English, and he's got the moveset. He's got the entrance. As long as you don't put him with the LWO, he will be safe from the aura police, the aura taking LWO, and he'll be fine. So that's my thoughts on that. Other thoughts, champions right now. Lyra Valkyria becoming the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. Totally fine with that. A lot of people were mad that Dakota didn't win. And listen, Dakota was also very, very deserving of that title. Both of them are deserving. And as I say with the NXT stuff, when people come up from NXT, they need a defining moment to solidify themselves on the main roster. Dakota has had a tag team championship. She's had some great storylines. She is solidified. Lyra really hasn't been solidified. I mean, she's had some good matches, like in the Queen of the Ring tournament, she was a finalist in there. She was the finalist, and she had some good matches in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. She needed that win. I think she needed that win then more than mostly anyone in the female side of WWE, because that was a big win to get her out of that NXT spotlight and put her in that main roster spotlight. So happy for her. She's a great wrestler. She's pretty good on the mic. Like she gets just a little more charisma. I think she'd be next level for the women's side, because the women's division, they're amazing. They are so talented and they have a lot of charisma, but they need new challengers for the titles, because I just think that some of the titles are just on the same rotation of challengers. So happy Tiffy won. That was amazing. Hopefully she can have some good credible challengers and around it. But I'm just I'm just sick and tired of Bailey being the one to always challenge for it. She's a great wrestler, but the same shtick just gets boring. It just gets really boring, going over and over and over and over and over and over again. So hopefully we can get some new challengers. Hopefully Roxanne Perez comes up, because I know she's been feuding with Bailey a little bit in the crowd and at NXT. So hopefully she'll get a call up soon and maybe start to compete as the next challenger. I mean, Io will always be a good challenger, because she is definitely not boring yet. She's got aura to not be boring, but you just gotta get some new people. Jade will be hopefully back at Rumble. There's a lot of reports. A lot of people think she might win it, and that might be my take. But I will have to. I will be recording a prediction video, so just wait on that, and you'll see my prediction for all the matches, the Cody Kevin thing, everything. But thank you guys for watching Wrestling Wednesday. Sorry for missing last week, but I did get it this week. Later, I got some big things to talk about. Sports, I will come out with a Commander season recap. I'm still in a little pain from it, so I won't. I probably will post it tomorrow, but I'm still in a little pain. So you gotta give me some time to mourn the season, even though it was great. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be ready for Friday, and bye. Subscribe.